Hey guys, so we just completed our first set of examples with React.js, and you could see how easy it was to get started as well as do those examples very easily. Now that was step one. Now what I would like to tell you is how the entire course is laid down, because there are many things that we will cover. And of course, whenever even I read a book, I always wanted to see the index saying how many main topics that I will cover and what's the course action that I will take. So that's what we will do in this lecture. What I will tell you is how we have the course laid down for us and what's the plan. So the first thing is where we are right now, which is getting started. So this is where we are getting started, where we just created a couple of examples based off React on a codepen.io, and we're just getting used to or familiar with it. Now it won't be long that we step out of this and we move on to actual theory of React.js. Now once that is covered, I'll showcase you a few of the apps that I have created myself so that you can see what power that React brings to the table. The next is of course the installation and how you can get set up, including Sublime Text, NPM, and of course the whole React and Node.js servers. So once you're done with the React installation, we will start with our first concepts, which is JSX. So once we do the JSX, what we will do is we'll try to create elements, we'll try to create examples and see how JSX can be made useful. Once that is done, we will move on to components. Now once the JSX syntax is understood by us, we will move on to creating awesome components. We'll try to see some small examples, including the tick example that we just saw. So we will try to recreate it using the actual Sublime Text using the code. Now once that is done, we will see how rendering works in React, how you can change few things, how you can access the React DOM. And once that is done, we will move on to props and props validations. The next of course is components in detail. What we will try to see is the components API. What can be created out of it, what APIs can be used, what functions need to be called, when each function gets called. All of that will be covered in the components and components API. Then of course we will also discuss a lot about the state management that happens in React and how the Flux architecture comes into picture, which means how the data flows from the parent to the child. And then once that is done, we will move on to forms, because for any application or any website, forms is an integral part of the website, and understanding how forms work in React probably is something very important, and that's why we will devote a little more number of hours or more number of lectures to forms as such. And of course, when forms come into picture, there's no question that routing is equally very important. So that's what we will cover at the end. We will cover the routing. Now once all of this is done, where we understand a little bit basics and we understand how things work, it will be time to test the waters by creating real world applications. So the first thing we will do is we'll create a project which will be a small game which will be based out of all of this what we have studied so far. And once we complete that game, we should be seeing a sense of achievement in ourselves, saying that we could very easily and very smoothly create a game based off React. The next of course is a project 2, which is more of an assignment. So what I will do is I will give you an assignment to complete based off a project 1. And of course, if you cannot solve, I will have a full-fledged solution of project 2, which is another game but a little different. This project will also test our ability to work with dynamic data as well as incorporating third-party application content into our website. So yes, there's a lot in store. And the third project is of course incorporating online themes, which means what you see on like Get Bootstrap or Bootstrap themes or Invento Marketplace, where you can have themes that you want to incorporate into a React app, or probably use the theme rather than not wasting time in creating your HTML, CSS, and just incorporate in your React application. So that is what we will learn and cover in project 3. And the project 4 is a combination of everything that we have learned. It's the master project, where we will use our forms, our routing, we will try to see how data can be fetched, how local storages work, and of course any other components that we will create there. So that was all that we're going to cover in our course. Now if there are any topics that you feel that is missed out, or probably you want to have more knowledge about or more discussion, feel free to let me know in the Q&A section. I'll be very happy to add more videos and more content so that this course becomes in true sense a pure React.js course that anybody and everybody can understand, and it has to be the best course in the marketplace. So please share your feedback with me in the Q&A section. Don't hesitate, write as many questions as you want to. So that was all about our course structure and the instructions that we need. So let's not waste any time and let's get started. So I'll see you in the next class.